Hi, I'm Sofia Bernardi, mindset and business coach supporting ambitious new and rising coaches to master their mindset, create an aligned and profitable strategy, and grow a six-figure business and beyond using the Rising Coach method. I built a $500,000 business by the age of 24, and in this podcast, I will teach you the psychology, strategy, and energetics to do the same. Let's dive in. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. Today, I'm really excited to be chatting with you all about the 3 different phases of a launch. And the reason I'm so excited to share this episode with you is because for a long time in my business, I didn't even know what a launch was. I obviously heard the term every now and again, but I had no idea what it was or how to utilize it or any of those sorts of things. And since learning what a launch is, the 3 phases of a launch and how to, actually take action in those 3 different phases, my business has significantly grown. And the only reason I know what a launch is because I hired a coach. So that's obviously the takeaway message here is make sure you have a coach because you just don't know what you don't know. And I thought I was doing all of the things, I was doing, what I saw other people doing. But when you actually know the psychology, the strategy, and the energetics behind a launch and the 3 phases in a launch, that's when you're going to really be able to grow and scale because you're going to be able to take the necessary actions, make the necessary tweaks, and master your approach a lot faster, making everything you do in your business so much more valuable of your time, if that makes sense. But before I get into the episode, I want to get better at sharing more of my personal life with you guys and building that really strong relationship because I feel like I'm all about wanting to cut straight to the chase and give you all the tips and tools and strategies. But at the same time, as much as I love that and my intention behind that, I also want to build genuine relationships with you all. I want to become best friends with you guys. And I know a great way to do that is honestly just to connect with you at a deeper level and, be more personal with you. So I want to force myself to do that because it doesn't come naturally to me. I'm more of a just want to give you the tips and stuff so that you can go out there and grow your business. But actually what I really want to do is build relationships with you as well. So I thought I would tell you about the last 24 hours of my life because honestly, it's been crazy. And it's important to note that this is very much pre-recorded. So by the time you're listening to this was definitely a while ago now. I'm pretty organized at the moment, recording so many podcast episodes because I'm obsessed. I love it. It energizes me. But the last 24 hours have been so wild. So it is currently a Monday at the time of recording this, and I was at a festival here. Not a festival. It's called the Fringe. It's a festival kind of thing, market kind of style. What is it? It's not a festival like music and dancing festival, but they call it the Fringe Festival here in Adelaide. And it's on once a year. It only goes for a month, and it's basically this beautiful garden area where there's lots of different food stalls and cabaret and, singing and dancing and different shows that you can buy tickets to. It's a really fun time of year and one of the only exciting times of year here in Adelaide. And so when it's on, my partner and I, Geordie, we always go there for dinner and things like that because we live really close to the city, which is really nice. And we went to the Fringe for dinner last night and we were having so much fun. And then one of my friends called me and she was like, oh, do you want to go to a show with me? And I was coincidentally there. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. So Geordie went back to his office space where I spend a lot of time with him there, to be honest. We both love to work. We're both on a mission to help as many people as possible. And yeah, it's really close by. So he went back there to do some work because he did not want to interrupt our girls' night. So my friend met me at the Fringe and we went and saw a show together and it was so cool. Loved it. And anyways, when I saw that he texted me pretty soon after I went to the show, and he said, oh, text me when you finish and I'll come pick you up. And so I knew when he said that, it meant that he had gone home. He obviously wasn't going to stay at the office space like I thought. And I was like, yep, cool, no worries. And anyways, the show went for about an hour. And when the show finished, then I was like, okay, cool, I'm ready. And he's like, oh, I'm back at the Think Lab, which is his office space. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought you went home. And he's like, yeah, I've locked myself out of the house. And I'm like, oh, well, the key is like in my backpack, which is at the office space. And he's like, nah, it's not. I searched everywhere. I thought you had that key. And I was like, no, I swear to God, like I do not have the key on me. And we both just died. We were like, oh my God, we've locked ourselves out of the house. I can't even be bothered explaining it to you guys. Basically, we rode our bikes that day. We both thought one of us had the key. Long story, whatever. We both locked ourselves out of the fucking house. So annoying. And at this point, it was like almost 10 o'clock at night. And Geordie was so tired. I wasn't, because I had just been at a really cool like show and I was like living my best life, but he was really tired. And I was like, there's no way we're going to be able to get into the house right now. Like every door is locked, like blah, blah, blah. And I could just tell the poor thing, he was so tired, and we didn't have our cars on us because we locked the key like in the house. So we only had our bikes, and it's only a 10-minute ride, but we just like, you can't get in the house without the fucking keys. So I was just like, why don't we just go sleep at my grandparents' house really close by? They're just the most amazing people. That my grandparents are like godsends in my whole family. Like everyone just relies on them and loves them, and they're always just there to save the day when you need them. So 10 o'clock at night, I'm ringing my grandma knowing she'll be awake, and I was like, can we please stay at your house? And they're like, yeah, of course. So we went there. Like they have a beautiful spare bedroom. Fun fact, I used to live with them when I first first moved back to Australia on my own in 2017, and so I've lived there before, and the spare room is so nice. They have the best bed, so it was like at a hotel, and Geordie joked, he's like, this is nicer than most hotels. So it was fine. We stayed there the night, which was really funny. And then this morning we were like, right, we need to get back into the house. Luckily I have a clear calendar every Monday. I don't do any client stuff on Mondays other than Slack support, which is like voice messaging support. I don't have any calls or anything, so like my calendar was free, but Geordie needed to get in the house so he could like go back to the office space and like refresh and stuff, because we were in the same clothes. We obviously had no clothes or anything on us. And I hope you guys are fucking interested in this. I've never done this before. Now I'm going on a tangent. I'm nearly done though. And so anyways, we rode, we went out for breakfast, got coffee, just pretended like there were no problems in the world. We had such a cute little day. I'm in such a love bubble. This is the closest I've ever felt with Geordie. Like I'm just so in love with him right now. Anyways, we went on a cute date, got coffee, shared breakfast together, then rode back home. And it was so funny watching him try and break into our house. Like tried every door, every window. He was like climbing the fucking wall because we live on like the second floor, jumping on bins to get up. Like everything was locked. And that's all a great thing, right? Because we live in a secure place and you'd bloody hope it's secure and it's not that easy to break in. And it wasn't. But then eventually my neighbor was like, she came out and she's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, oh, we locked ourselves out of the house. She's like, oh, there's a ladder you can use. And anyways, so we got the ladder and then he climbed through the kitchen window. It was so funny. And I just wish I could like show you a photo right now, but just seeing like him like dive into the kitchen, you just see his legs sticking out. It was so fucking funny. Anyways, we finally got into the house, and that has been my shit show over the last 24 hours. So funny though. To be honest, it wasn't that big of a deal. It's more just like not your average Monday morning. So it was a really fun way. But to be honest, I got a lot of quality time with Geordie. We got to have a nice slow morning going out for breakfast together, which we don't usually get to do like during the week on a Monday morning. But it was really, really fun. So that's been my day. And then the rest of the day, it's so cloudy and rainy and windy right now. It's very weird vibes. But I've been to a cafe with my friend, did some work, and I was so energized. And been feeling really good, but the weather is just looking horrific as I look outside. Anyways, that was my story. I hope that was of some entertainment. And please come message me on Instagram and let me know your thoughts so I know if you're even interested in these kinds of stories. Anyways, that's my morning. Let's get into the 3 fucking phases of a launch and what a launch is. So If you're looking to run impactful online challenges and events to grow your business, then I quickly want to talk to you about my new free offer, the 58K Launch Playbook. Come behind the scenes and see an insight to the content, the breakdown, the results, and the learnings from a recent successful event I ran that made me over $58,000. In this playbook, I will take you through the event outline. So I'll show you how I plan and organize my launches for success each month. You'll see a breakdown of my title, type of event, outline, outcome desire, dates, and more. You'll also receive the event content calendar. I take you behind the scenes of my exact content calendar for this entire launch that you can plug and play in your own business. The event results and stats. I share the exact figures, conversion rates, and signups I received throughout this launch so you know exactly how much was made and where it came from. And you'll also receive the event evaluation, which personally I find to be the most valuable out of this playbook. Here, I break down what worked overall, what didn't, and what I will do next time based on my experience, struggles, and results. Learn from my mistakes so you don't have to. Head to the link in the description to download your free copy now. So, if you are ready to take your launch to the next level, this is where you can launch products or services or offerings. That's like really what a launch is. It allows you to like announce something that you are bringing out to the world. And so to make the most out of your launch, it's really important to know and understand the three phases and how to approach each one effectively. So there are three phases from like my belief and understanding of a launch. There is the pre-launch, the pre-launch, and the cart open phase. All right. So let's begin with the pre-launch. This is the stage where you are growing your audience and engaging with your current audience, right? So you might want to make sure that you have a solid foundation of like people that are like in your space, like you know how to attract people and you know how to nurture people. That's the two things you want to be doing on this phase. And so in the pre-launch, we want to focus on building relationships, providing value, and nurturing your audience. Like this is the key focus here. So you can do that by using your normal attraction strategies on how you bring new people into your space. So you might just want to be adding like really amazing, valuable posts right now without like work with me kind of call to actions or like really heavy and hard call to actions, but more just engagement based call to actions, like comment below your favorite tip or, you know, blah, 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 like what resonated with you most, or, you know, save this post for later, like, you know, follow me for more, like stuff like that. So that's what you can do in the pre-launch phase. This is also where you could like, just like really go the extra mile to like give a lot of value, like give, not so much take in the pre-launch phase. Then once you've done that, and obviously the length of these phases in your launch will be different depending on various factors, like what you're launching, the price point of it, all of that sort of stuff. Like there's a lot of things to it, like whether you've actually launched it before, blah, 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 blah. So you want to make sure that, the length of time is very personally tailored to each and every launch. But if you are like my clients that are typically running a launch event of some description every single month, then you might be in the pre-launch phase for about a week. You might be in the pre-launch phase for 2 weeks and then the cart open phase for a week as well, for example. More or less. So that's what you want to do in the pre-launch phase. And you also might want to write this down if you're in a space to do that, or save this podcast episode to be able to re-listen later for when you're running a launch. And it doesn't always have to be a new product or service you're launching. It can be the same thing, but you run a launch to get more people into that thing, right? Whether that's like your mastermind, your group program, or your one-on-one coaching program. So that's the pre-launch. Then we move on to the pre-launch. So this is where you start to share more about what you have to offer and give your audience a chance to take action on an event or challenge or lead magnet that is typically free or low ticket. So you might want to consider hosting a free event such as a challenge, a masterclass, a webinar, or a workshop. This can be a really great way to showcase your expertise, build trust and rapport, encourage your people and your audience to invest in your services and learn more from you. So in the pre-launch phase, I like to either launch a free lead magnet like a checklist or a workbook of some description, or my favorite is I like to run a challenge or an event. So I usually, alternate between running a challenge, a paid intensive, or a free workshop, right? Or masterclass, whatever you want to call it. And here I'm just promoting to join that free or low ticket thing. So again, you're still being very generous. You're not saying, hey, buy from me, like work with me necessarily, but more like join my challenge, join my event, and you're not just saying join my event, but more so selling the free offer that you have made. So the challenge or the event or the workshop is in of itself an offer, even if it's free, and you need to sell people on why they should join that. So for example, let's say I was running a challenge called how to the 3 pillars to 10K months, let's just say, free challenge. I'm not saying, hey, come join my challenge. I'm talking about, hey, come learn how to grow your business to 10K months through these 3 pillars, right? So it's like you're selling still the result that they want, not so much the challenge. It's not about you. It's about actually helping them. So you've got to sell them on why they should take action, click, register, download, whatever it is you're doing, right? And the cool thing about running a challenge and event is you're very much giving and impacting and actually helping people, as opposed to just hey, work with me, right? We want to give, right? So we've added so much value that it leads them with a lot of trust and rapport and likability and authority, and it leads them wondering what would it be like to work with you, if they're getting this much value from working for free with you, right? So you might want to consider running a challenge or an event. This is obviously what I specialize in. So if you want to do this properly, because there is a formula to this, make sure you come work with me. Join Rise to Coach, join Rise to 6, depending on your stage in business. If you want to learn which program would be for you, just send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, or book a free clarity call with me, or just check my website, guys, sofiarosebernardi.com, and you'll see all of my offerings. I'm very transparent with exactly how to join or apply or join the waitlist and so forth. So come actually master it instead of dabble in this stuff and get the full process. But running a challenge or an event is a really great way to then really, really warm up your audience and bring in a new audience as well. So the pre-launch, we're simply warming up and bringing in new people into our space. The pre-launch, we're doing that at a whole nother level and really prepping people to be able to work with us. And so basically you promote this, low ticket or free event of some description, then you run the event. So let's just say it's a 3-day challenge that goes for 3 days, or it's an hour workshop, it goes for that hour. And after you have delivered that free or low ticket event, that is when you then enter the third phase, which is the cart open phase. So this is where it's time to make your big pitch. So the cart open phase is the window of time that your audience has an opportunity to work with you. So you could offer an early bird pricing, or have bonuses included, or offer other incentives to encourage your audience to take action on the pitch that you just made. So let's just say you ran the 3-day challenge, and at the end of the challenge, you essentially more or less say, if you would like to work with me, to really master this process, come join XYZ program. For the next 7 days only, there will be $500 off the program. So act now, join now, and you will save $500. For example, right? That incentivizes someone to take action because you've created urgency and scarcity, right? And I could do a whole fucking workshop and episode on this, because there is just so much to all of these things, right, that I'm sharing with you, but I just want to give you the full rundown today. So by incentivizing people using aligned and genuine, urgency and scarcity, it's a really important strategy to master and feel good about. That's what makes people make quick decisions, and not from a place of like rush and fear and doubt, but just making them make quick, right decisions for them, right? Rather than them sitting on the fence. We know that does not serve our audience, to sit there on the fence in their comfort zone, scared to take any leaps, because it's when they stay where they are that they're never going to improve, right? So you want to support people to make easy and like amazing decisions for themselves, right? And that's where you have an irresistible offer, and you utilize, urgency and scarcity to support people to take action, because it's when you take action that you get results, right? And then, it's in this cart open phase that you get high quality, high paying, ideal customers or clients, right? And they are the 3 phases. So you've got the pre-launch, where you are growing your audience and engaging with your current audience. Then we've got the pre-launch, where you start to give your current audience a chance to take action and learn more from you at a much deeper level. Right, so they've opted in for something, and then we deliver the actual event or challenge or whatever it is, and then we have the cart open phase, which is the short window of time in which people have an opportunity to buy from you for that special offer. It's not to say that they can't work with you outside of that 7 days, right? Or that might be the case for your business model. It's going to be completely different. However, to take up this particular offer, they all have that amount of time, whether that cart open window might be 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, 1 week, 2 weeks. Obviously, the longer it is, the less urgency and scarcity there is. But like I said, it will really depend on, your unique offer and launch. So they are the 3 phases of a launch. I hope that's been supportive of you to get more clarity on like what different phases you might be in right now, how to best capitalize on them, and actually how to have some structure and some systems in place, so you're not just winging business and fucking jumping around hoping with your fingers crossed that things are working out, but you're actually being strategic about what you're doing so that you can create that freedom, that impact, and that flow. I hope this episode it's been a little bit different, but I hope it's been helpful for you to learn maybe a little bit about me and everything like that, but then also learn something that you can go away and actually action and improve your business from. So would love to hear your key takeaways. It really means the world to me when you share the podcast, when you review the podcast, when you message me your takeaways. It makes all the difference in the world. So I love you, and I will see you in next week's episode. Bye. Are you ready to create aligned, scalable results in your coaching or service-based business? If so, I'd love to work with you. I support my clients through my signature programs, Rise to Coach, which is for new coaches or service providers wanting to sign their first clients, and Rise to 6, the mastermind to scale to consistent 10,000